Hey y'all, welcome back. So um, I'm going along on a road trip around the Grand Canyon, the Glen Canyon, and Bryce and Zion, and then back to Vegas. On this road trip, I'm stopping along exciting places and I'm taking you to the next best exciting part. And now you might wonder, why the hell am I in some kind of like a parking lot around here? It might look interesting to see and note the red stones, and it is a Walmart parking lot. You might wonder, why the hell is she at the Walmart parking lot? It's not any other Walmart parking lot. If you zoom out and take a whole look, the the Walmart is actually situated right next to the mighty Colorado River, and there's like 1,000 feet drop right there. And it's like literally like 5 minutes away from the Horseshoe Bend, which is the most photographed location, I believe. And it's been like the wallpaper, it's been like the Gmail pictures, the Horseshoe Bend, it's the one of the most recognized locations, and it is literally like 5 minutes from that Walmart that I just showed you, and it's like 10 minutes from Page if you're staying in Page. It is the majestic Colorado River that's carving out this amazing formation in the red sandstone, and it is so beyond comprehension to see this natural formation. And it's 1,000 foot drop, so it's pretty amazing to just watch that. And you can also like go kayaking and stuff along the Colorado River. But the Horseshoe Bend, it's easily my most favorite place. And I also got there right around like sunset in the spring, and the sunset was just so gorgeous. Now, the Horseshoe Bend is technically like maintained between like the city of Page, even though it's part of the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, it is maintained by the city of Page. So the fee that you paid for if you have the National Park Pass, that's not gonna be accepted here. You would need to get a separate pass, and you could just get it when you go there in person. It is like $10 for a car, like a passenger car if you're driving one, and $5 for a motorcycle. And that includes like car, truck, or RV. It's like $10 for any of those passenger vehicles. And you have a parking lot right there, and you can see on the website here it is not um, part of the Navajo Nation. They also don't accept the National Park Pass. You could just drive down there, and if you want to look at more information, I would highly recommend checking out this website from City of Page about Horseshoe Bend. And it's a very accessible hiking trail. It's 1.5 mile round trip, so it's almost like 0.7 mile one way, and it is pretty accessible, but you get this gorgeous view. And even as you start walking on the trail, you could start to feel that 1,000 foot drop that's right ahead there, and it feels like you were walking amongst the dinosaurs or something like that. It's just enormous, this gap in earth, and you could just see it as you start walking on the trail. And it is such an amazing place, and I would highly recommend staying on the trail even when you get to the actual viewing point. Now, they have a viewing platform which has fence, so if you're scared of heights, I would definitely not like go off the trail or off the track. There is the viewing platform, and you could get gorgeous photos from there, and you are also pretty safe. But there are going to be lots and lots of people who are kind of off the fences and kind of risking their life. But be cautious. It is a pretty steep drop, and yeah, I've seen people like hanging off the cliff there. I would not recommend doing stuff like that. And they also do not allow drones, which is kind of good. That cuts down half of the issues that might lead people to go way over the edge. And if you're also curious, they also have you could also like kayak down the Colorado River. There is a place I think called Les Ferry. Um, I've heard like you could like go to the campground as Les Ferry, or Lee's Ferry, and then you could start like kayaking along the Colorado River. I was kind of like in a rush, so I didn't get to go to the Les Ferry campground. But this location is such an amazing place, and you could not get the wrong time of the day in any means. Like whatever time of the day that you do go, it's gonna be pretty amazing because it's just how gorgeous this place is. And since I went around like sunset, it was even more amazing just to see like the sunset right in front of you, and it's like hitting against all the stones and turning them into like pinkish red and all shades of like red and pink. And um, the more surprising part, I mean, I don't know if, why this was surprising, but for me, it was more surprising, was seeing the greens and the vegetation along the Colorado River. Even though this, we know it's a desert, the entire area is pretty deserty landscape. There's quite a bit of like greenish, like greenery. There's a bit of greenery along the Colorado River, and you can see that in the photos here. And that I find pretty amazing about nature and how like resilient nature is. And even just like looking at the Horseshoe Bend, like how resilient the nature is. Just this was carved out by the river over like thousands and thousands of years. And yeah, you should definitely look out for the Horseshoe Bend if you're ever in Page the next time. And so this is going to be a quick walk or a quick hike, so you could easily combine this with your any of the other trips. Like if you're either in Grand Canyon, it might be a little bit longer of like a drive to get to Page. If you're just visiting Grand Canyon and you don't want to go anywhere else, this might be a little bit of your trail. You would drive at least like couple hours to get to Page from Grand Canyon Village. But if you're already in Page or if you're going to Bryce Canyon anyway, I would highly recommend like stopping by at the Horseshoe Bend. This is one of the most photographed places, and it's such an amazing view, and it just humbles you so much about nature. And if you're like ever in Page, like visiting the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, or like the Antelope, the Upper Antelope, Lower Antelope, or any of the Slack Canyons, you should definitely like take a minute and go to Horseshoe Bend. And it's not a long walk, but keep in mind there isn't much of a shade along the trail. So there isn't much shade along the trail. It's all pretty wide open desert. So drink lots and lots of water. There's like only two shaded areas, and that was also like put up by the parks. So keep that in mind. And there's like a restroom at the beginning of the trail, like at the parking lot. So make use of that. But this is, yeah, this is such a great place. I didn't want to leave the Horseshoe Bend because of how mesmerizing the whole place was. Just looking at it, it was such a short hike, and you get the best view, like the most gorgeous view. It's not at all a difficult hike at all. And I was so glad I could make it, and just to see it in person, It's amazing. It's pretty amazing. Like all of the like if you've been to the Monument Valley or any of the other like canyons, you could imagine just this structure that was made by nature. So I was just like staring at it for so long, and even after the sunset, the park is I think open for like half an hour or something. Even after sunset, I stayed for a little bit, and it was still like really great. I also heard like people go there during like the sunrise to catch a view so that the light is hitting directly on the horseshoe from your viewpoint. So you might want to also try to do that. The only time that I could squeeze the horseshoe bend in was for like the sunset. I wish I could like go back around for like the sunrise and be out there as early and like see the sunrise on the horseshoe bend. Pretty sure it's gonna be like amazing when you guys go. So yeah, check it out and let me know if you went to any of the other places around Horseshoe Bend in the comments.